Walk with me, walk with me, walk with me. Let's walk the talk.
Anytime the word boy child is mentioned, what exactly comes across our minds? What exactly do you understand of being a boy child? In our show today, we are walking a journey with a father and a man of God who has a passion about a man figure, and he will take us through on how to understand, or rather, on the struggles of the boy child. Do they really have struggles? Yes, they do. Or maybe we're going to understand it better. And with me here, I want to welcome our guest, none other than Pastor Lukundo, who is with us here in studio, and for sure he will take us through. You're welcome. Pastor Lukundo.
Yes.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Okay. How
Good to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you for
You're most welcome.
Asante sana.
And today is a very different day because we are walking a journey towards understanding the struggles of the boy child.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward at least to have a clear picture of exactly what is all about the boy child. But maybe before we continue, I give you this chance to introduce yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. My name's Dominic Lukundo,
Okay.
pastor, husband, a father, and also a pastor, and also a man who has a passion to help the man. Man consists the boy, also consists the full-grown man. So that's my passion. I have a desire to see man fulfilling God's plan for his life. Yes.
Now, with a desire to see a man fulfilling the purpose. Now, regarding whatever we're discussing today, maybe we can understand, or rather we make our viewer understand, what are we talking about exactly when we're talking about a boy child?
Okay.
Yes.
A boy child, the word boy child actually is not a word you'll find in the dictionary, but it's simply a combination of two words, boy and a child. You see, it talks about the man who is not yet full grown, is not yet mature. He's a boy, is somebody who is young, a youthful person who is trying to find his way up in life. So we call him a boy because he's still under tutelage, he's still a young person that needs to be directed and to be helped. That is a boy child for you.
So in other words, the boy child is not a baby and not an adult. Or what do you mean?
He is in between. He is too young to be called a grown-up.
That's right.
Or an adult. And when you tell him he's a baby, he is offended because he is too old to be called a baby. So he's in between. Yes, that's
So he cannot be a baby,
No.
or rather...
Actually, they feel offended when you call him a baby.
Really?
But they are not ready for the responsibilities of an adult.
Okay.
So they are there. They are there.
And do they really understand that they don't? They are in a situation whereby they are not identified well, because when you say that they are not babies and they are not adults, so
no, that's the struggle. That's where the struggle.
and that's where we are coming now. In
That's the struggle because they want to find out. Because a struggle is an energetic attempt to free yourself or to know what is expected of you. That's a struggle that they are having because it's like they are lost, but they are not yet lost.
Okay.
Yes, we shall find them.
Definitely. And now here comes the struggles of this boy child. Yeah.
The struggles of the boy child are very many. First of all, the boy child as a person is somebody that is lost in terms of where they are. Hormones are kicking in. They are growing. This age, this stage. They are trying to identify God's plan or purpose for their lives.
Sure.
They need to discover what their calling is. They want to exercise their talents, their gifts. They're very energetic. They have time on their side. They are very youthful. Also, the boy child wonders, all this strength I have, they don't get tired. You understand? You find they can work very many hours and they still have a lot of a huge appetite. So the boy child is somebody that has a lot of things going on for him and a lot of things which can go very wrong for him.
In other words, is someone who is in kind of a fight within himself.
Yes. He's trying to achieve some success. But at the same time, there are a lot of things which he does not know how to do.
As well as proving something that
Yes.
I'm in a position to do things.
I want to prove to people that I'm a man. Yes.
Now, about the struggles in the area to do with they are lost. Where exactly are they lost?
Well, I want to say, first of all, the boy child is about discovering what is inside them. As a pastor, there's a scripture that says in the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4,
Yeah.
verse 7. Allow me to read for you. 2
Sure.
Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7, because I want to lean on the word of God, because that is what I'm sure
Yeah.
will give us direction. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 says, talks about, we have this treasure in earthen vessels, okay, that the excellency of the power of God may be made manifest in us. Now, this talks about we as human beings, our body. Inside us, we have treasures. God created our bodies, but He put treasures inside. Talks about dreams, desires, talents, concepts, ideas. They are loaded in that boy child. Now, to find these things and to give them expression, to discover them, to tap into that wisdom that God has put in that boy child, and to bring it out, that is where the struggle can be. That's one of the struggles. Because some of them, they find they have ideas. They don't know, how do I do these ideas? They are struggling with what they can do in life. They don't know where to begin. So that's one of the struggles, to discover the king inside the child.
Discovering the king.
The king inside the kid. Yeah, you can call it like that.
Okay.
The king inside the kid. Because there's a king inside. There's a giant inside. But that giant is lying idle. He has not been tapped.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
That's one of the struggles.
Yeah.
Another struggle we can look at is the struggle of age. As we said earlier, they are not old and they're not young.
Yeah.
They are there. Wako tu, you know, and then we have the issue of that struggle of age. You find they are not too old and they're not too young. Okay? They want to do what adults are doing, but they can't handle it. They don't have maybe the money, or if they have the money, they don't know how to manage it. So this is a struggle that the boy child is having. Another struggle is the issue of friends. So I don't know if you want us to list them all out, or we go one by one. How do you prefer we go about it?
Definitely, let's like kind of handle three.
Three. Okay, so let's start with the discovery.
Yeah.
The discovery of what it lies in them is very important. That treasure, as the Bible says, the treasure in earthen vessels. Every one of us, we have come with a mission on this earth.
Sure.
That young man, and I want to talk to everyone who is listening to me, whether he's a parent or not, an uncle, a brother, a neighbor, a teacher, a pastor, a church worker, a social worker, anywhere you are, there is a young man within your distance that is struggling to know and discover their purpose in life. And they don't know where to begin. So one of the things I can advise a parent or a friend is that get them to be under somebody who can bring out what lies inside of them. Because some of them have music, but they don't know where to begin. Some of them they can be good actors. Some of them are good businessmen. Some of them are chefs of international repute.
But maybe, Pastor, before we continue, with the
Yes.
current age, the current youth, or rather the teens we are having, nowadays it's not that easy to penetrate and understand the passion that they have. So not unless they speak out. And my question is, because some feel so much insecure, per se, when I want to pour out my life to you, because of so many things that have been happening. How will I, as a neighbor, understand there's a boy child around me? How will I understand that purpose, or rather that king in him? Not unless he come out and speak out. What if he doesn't want to speak out?
Well, it's a challenge we all have.
Yeah.
To reach out to the boy child is not an easy, but it's very easy.
It isn't at all.
You have to befriend them. Boy child does not want somebody who comes and try to show them that, look, I know more than you.
Oh.
They need somebody to listen to them. They say even the dullest person has a story to tell.
Is not that the eagle in them?
No, actually everyone wants to talk. They say the dullest person has a story to tell. If somebody is so dull and boring, if you just give them an ear, they will talk. Even that stupid, or to you is stupid, if you listen to them, they have a story to tell. That beggar on the street, if you listen to them, they have a story. Everyone has a story, because everyone is crying for expression. Romans talks about, Paul is saying that the creation is groaning, waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. So there's something groaning inside of them. They want somebody to listen to them. Only listening. A boy child does not want somebody to come and tell them, do this, stop doing this. No, they have had that all their days. All they want is listen to me.
Okay.
Only. Give them a listening ear. And you'll be surprised. Once they know you can listen, they'll come again to you. But if you don't allow them to talk, you do the talking, they will shut up.
Okay.
Yes.
And that is a struggle about the, identifying themselves.
Allow them to talk. Give them the atmosphere. Create that ambience. Let them feel I'm safe. Whatever I'm sharing with you, nobody will come to know. They will tell you their secrets, their struggles. If they're struggling with drugs, someone will tell you, I'm struggling with this particular addiction, with pornography. I want to stop this. I have this problem with this girl. I have a problem with this boy. You understand? And they will share. Once they know it's safe to share with you, they will share.
Okay.
But if they tell you something and then they hear it tomorrow all over town, they will not talk to you again.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. Let's proceed. What is this other struggle? There's a struggle of age and friendships. Let's come to the friends. Because now with the current situation, especially the COVID time,
Yes, yes.
there are so many things that are happening in between the youth, the boy child and the girl child. But unfortunately, the blame is on the boy child.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I never understand.
Yeah.
But will always never understand. Even Solomon said, the way of a man and a woman is a mystery.
Definitely.
Is a mystery.
How they relate,
how they
love
can
each
understand.
other.
You'll think your son in the house has no girlfriend outside. You'll be surprised that he has a girlfriend outside there. So it's only that because they know how to play according to them, they are very quiet with the phones, internet, they can communicate secretly.
Nowadays they are saying cheza kiwewe.
Cheza kama wewe.
Yes.
Now what I can say is this. You can't stop your son from having friends. Actually, friends are important. We need friends. Because the Bible says there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother.
Sure.
So a friend is important for every one of us. Jesus had 12 friends. Had friends. Those were his disciples, but they were his friends.
That's true.
He said a friend will lay down his life for his friend.
So they were his friends.
They were his friends. He was willing to lay down his life for them. And even Peter manifested his friendship to Jesus. He cut the ear of a soldier. That was a good friend.
That's because of defending my friend.
Yes, my friend.
Yeah.
So we need to have friends. Now the issue we come about is that when we have a friend of the opposite sex, that's where now the problem comes. Parents get worried. The society is up in arms. Because the next thing they think is sex, the next thing they see is pregnancy, the next thing is HIV, and these fears are well founded. However, we must deal with the boy child because we can say he's the one who will initiate the relationship, he's the one who can sustain the relationship, he's the one who gives the relationship, can I call it, direction, and the girl will follow. So the boy child needs to be invested in and telling the boy child, look, you are the man, this is what is expected of you as a man, but the time is not yet right. Have a friend, but not a wife.
Okay. You have a friend,
but not a wife. She's not yet a wife for you. You are not yet ready to be a husband. And that's where we find in the Bible, we have the story of these sons of David. Ammon. And he went to sleep with his sister Tamar. But you know who made them have the affair? Was a bad friend called Jonadab.
We are coming back to that. That the friend by the name Jonadab.
Jonadab, yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
We shall be right back after the break.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's walk the talk.
Yes, it is true. Boy child should also have a friend. It's all a matter of identifying. Is it a wife or a friend? Pastor Lukundo. Now, the issue to do with friendship.
Yes.
In other words, it's about opposite sex friends. Or what are you talking about when you talk about the friends?
I'm talking about balance.
The balance.
You must have boyfriends as a boy.
Okay.
You must also have girlfriends. Some are schoolmates.
Okay.
Some are your relatives. Some are your neighbors. Just by reason of association, it's normal and very healthy to have friends from all these areas. Yes. In church, you can have friends.
And how is the struggle? Now, where does the struggle comes in when there is an issue of identifying a friend?
Is because what is this friendship all about? That is the question. Always, the boy child should always question, where is this friendship taking me? Is it worth it? Is it adding or reducing from me? Is it taking from me or adding something to me? And that's why you can have a boy can have his guys, but can have also his girls. And it's quite normal. I have a daughter who is 22. I have a son who is 24. And I have seen their boyfriends and their girlfriends. My daughter has brought several boys to the house. They are just innocent friends.
Do you know the society we are in, when you talk of a boyfriend and a girlfriend, what comes in is that this is a sexual partner.
Now, that is the issue of deformation. We are deformed. Parents and society, we are deformed.
Because for sure, if I go at my place and tell my mother,
this is my friend.
This is my boyfriend. Definitely that lady will not understand what exactly is boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Yes. That's the issue of deformation. There's a deformation on how people reason and think. We always think when you see a man and a woman, the first thing that comes to our mind, they're having sex.
Definitely.
You understand? And that's the issue of deformation. And deformation comes from our past experiences. We have been abused, we have been programmed to be like that. And so we think when you see your son talking to a girl, the first thing that comes to your mind, Kwisha. Soon there'll be a baby. And this baby, they're just talking innocently stuff. You understand? So we must have balance. I'm not saying we should trust them 100%. I'm not saying we should suspect them 100%. The issue is that we should know they are going through ages. They are growing. And for every age that a boy goes through, there's a crisis in that age. You see, we have been talking in counseling and also in society, in sociology, we hear of midlife crisis.
Sure.
But let me tell you something. In every age, there's a crisis. When you're 12 years, there's a crisis.
It's not only at 40.
It's not only at 40. When I was 13, I was having a crisis.
Definitely.
Because my voice is breaking. I'm developing some pimples all over my face. That is a crisis for me. That was a big issue for me. How will the girls look at me? I had a smooth face. Tomorrow my pimples are breaking out. So you see, all these, we tend to think midlife crisis is the main crisis.
Sure.
It is a big crisis. But also down here, boys are going through moments.
And it sounds big because that is what we have grown up knowing, that there's that midlife crisis at 40. But not before we come to the issue to do with age. Let's now deal with his friendship, and especially based on the current situation we are in. From the month of March to date, we are having so many cases of early pregnancies, Pastor. And for sure, even the society is out there to blame the boy child. I don't want to say that the pregnancies are for big men per se, because I understand even these boys are in a position to father. But you find a girl child is somehow nurtured in a more careful way, that she's in a position to be taken, where, be nurtured, just get a baby, mommy go back to school.
They're called crisis homes.
Exactly. The rescue homes, they are being rescued, But the boy child is out there,
impregnating mothers.
Now, according to the situation that you are in as a nation, not even as a nation, because the pandemic is the whole world. It is a crisis, by the way. Now, where is the boy child regarding with whatever now we are having right now?
You see, RK, I will tell you this. This is not a solution that can be resolved, or a problem that can be resolved at once.
Sure.
This a problem has been growing over time. This is a problem that has been with us. But it was not fully manifested because they were busy in school, in between classes, in between holidays. But now they had a stretch of holidays all the way from March. Okay? Yes. They had many days and many hours without doing nothing. So the next thing they realized, their bodies had functions which they wanted to explore. And the next thing you see, the girls are pregnant. Now, I don't want to go into the issue of the girl child. Let me talk about the boy child.
The boy child.
Now, when a boy impregnates a girl, we find most of the problem is that the boy cannot take care of that child. The parents of the boy says, we are not responsible. And so, but they are left with a problem. This boy has impregnated a child. He is a father while he's still a child.
Exactly.
It will affect this boy psychologically. If care is not taken, this boy will always grow with that mind, knowing that I am a father. So he might not fulfill his destiny because already he has damaged.
But he's aware that he's a father.
Yes. So it can work either way. It can give him pride, or it can affect him socially, or maybe psychologically, knowing that, look, I have to be providing for that baby. Some boys will say, siwezi kubali mtoto wangu ateseke. So he start working to look for money, and he'll abandon school or education to look for a job to feed that child or take care of that baby. So his destiny, if he was maybe to be a career, maybe soldier, okay? He can't go to secondary school or finish secondary school because he has to get a kibarua somewhere and take care of the child. So his destiny has been affected. He won't fulfill it fully. Maybe he was to be a teacher in 10 years' time.
That's true.
He can't go to the teaching college because he never finished his O-levels. You get?
Sure.
Because he wants to take care of that child. Another way it can affect him and give him depression, going to drugs. So this is a mess, not only for the child, but also for the boy. Not only for the girl child, but also for the boy child. Because he starts carrying a burden that is not yet framed to carry it. The weight is too heavy on him, but he has to bear it. Even if he's not living under the same roof with that baby and the mother of the baby, he himself is affected. And let's come to another issue. Maybe the two of them are not even in love. They don't know even what love is.
Could be, yeah.
They are doing testing, and that's it. You get? So we have a problem here. Like in that story I was giving you, Jonadab was a friend of Ammon. And he made Ammon sleep with his sister Tamar. Now you must understand, Jonadab was just a friend. He never told Ammon what to do, but he suggested. So we must watch the friends our children keep. It's very important. You as parents and a society, I'm talking about parenting the boy child as a society, is that we must watch out the company our boys keep. Because the company have a great influence on what they will do, what they'll become tomorrow. Okay. Yes.
And still under the friends, there's a lot to do with, because it is good to mention it, the issue to do with homosexuality. It is even from as early as even 10 years old. And still is with the boy child. Pastor, is it that boy child is under siege, or there is a way to finish the boy child? Because if it is not drug, it is homosexuality, it is, impregnating the girl child. What for sure exactly can we say about this boy child?
The boy child is under attack, is under siege.
Is under
a big
attack.
One. Spiritually, is under siege. This is all an attack from hell. Though we don't want to talk about it openly, we say we are trying to be too spiritual. But it is a spiritual attack. Because what makes a boy look at another boy and want to have sex with him is out of order. The Bible calls it as a disorder. The Bible calls it, God says in his word, Romans chapter 1, says he has given them over to a reprobate mind. A mind that is reprobate is a mind that does not think right. It is twisted in thinking. Twisted means it's something that is straight, but it has taken a different shape. You have seen a twisted bar. It is straight, but it is twisted. You understand? So you find a mind that thinks he's thinking right, he wants sex, but it is twisted the kind of sex he wants with another man.
But the keyword is that he wanted sex.
Yes, he wanted sex. And so there has been some deformity. Now, I was doing some research on how men are initiated into homosexuality. As a passion of this issue, and allow me to take you to a story that happened many years ago. It happened in Jamaica. And when they abolished slavery all over the world, the white man and the Arabs, who are the slave traders, who are enslaving the black man, what they did is that they had to make sure that now they can't get slaves from Africa anymore. The source was Africa. Now those slaves which were en route were liberated. In Mombasa, we had those who are set free at Kengeleni in Mombasa, and we have Freetown in Mombasa. The word Freetown means the town of the free slaves. We have those Liberia, Freetown, Liberia, and those parts. Those are towns which are set for free slaves. Now, those who are already in slavery, what they did is that they made them stay in camps. Now, to make sure, and the slave traders were corrupt people, to make sure we have more slaves in this camp, we must make sure these slaves keep reproducing more slaves. Because a child born of a slave will always be a slave.
Be a slave, sure.
Since you can't get more slaves, siwazaane. Let's keep reproducing. And so what they did is that they make sure they have men sleeping with other slaves. Now what they did is that they did two things. Number one, the strongest men who are the slaves, the strongest ones, who are the ringleaders, you know what, the bouncers, they were always the troublemakers. How do you deal with a troublemaker? You subdue him in front of the rest. You conquer him. You break him. And that's why in homosexuality there's something called breaking the back. They introduce you through that particular ritual. It's very demonic, but they use force. So what they did, they tie that man who is a bouncer with ropes and his feet and his hands, and they make him lie down naked over a pole or a desk.
Sure.
The slave master, the white man, the slave trader, he will come and rape this man in front of all the other slaves during the day, as they are seeing. It is like an assembly. So he rapes him repeatedly in front of the other men, in front of the boys, in front of the girls, in front of the women. When they do that, they have broken his back. He can't have a voice anymore. You understand? Now this man has been initiated into homosexuality. By that homosexual act, he now starts looking for small boys to do the same. And that's how they multiply homosexuality, even in schools, even in society. Now you find in the rap world, in Black America right now, if you want to have your record selling as a musician, they have to have sex with you to have your record sell.
Goodness. What is...
It is sad.
It is very
sad. So
sad
you find
indeed.
our boys are being also intimidated.
Yeah.
In that small circle, they are being initiated in that small circle. Yes.
Now, what is your parting shot, especially to a parent raising a boy child?
My advice to a parent that is raising a boy child is that be close to your child.
Sure.
As a father or as a mother. If the father is absent and I want to talk to a mother or a sister, maybe you don't have a man who is strong to take care of your younger brother or your son, have somebody who can walk with them, a mentor, a parent figure, a father figure. Now, I'm not talking about physical stature, I'm talking about somebody who is sound. Character-wise, somebody who is sound with the word of God, somebody who is sound in terms of how they handle themselves.
Definitely.
Somebody who has a testimony, let me use that word, in the society. That is the person you allow the person to talk to your son.
Sure.
It's very important.
Always have somebody to walk with a boy child that you are bringing up, even though you are a single parent. It doesn't matter who is that, but somebody with character. Until next time, keep it. Walk with me. Thank you.
Walk with me.